Good day everyone. As requested, ito yung ating module ng grade 9. And what this module is about. This module is about illustrations of quadratic equations. Solve quadratic equations by extracting square roots, factoring, completing the square, and using quadratic formula. As you go over the discussion and exercises, you will understand more about quadratic equations. Enjoy learning and do not hesitate to go back if you think you are at a loss. So what you are expected to learn? This module is designed for you to, number 1, illustrate quadratic equations. Number 2, solve quadratic equations by extracting square roots, factoring, completing the square, and using quadratic formula. Dito naman, how much do you know? Ito yung pre-assessment. So, this is how we diagnose your prior knowledge. Gusto naming alamin kung ano yung mga natutunan nyo noong kayo ay nasa grade 8 or grade 7. So, I will not going to discuss that. So, proceed na tayo ngayon sa ating... So, here we are. Let us proceed to lesson 1. Illustrations of quadratic equations. A quadratic equation in one variable is a polynomial equation of degree 2 that can be written in the following standard form. We have ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0, where a, b, and c are real numbers and a should not be equal to 0. Ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. Ang sabi niya, a should not be equal to 0. Why? It's just because if your a is equal to 0, anong mangyayari? 0x squared plus bx plus c equal to 0, wherein any number multiplied by 0 is equal to 0. So, mangyayari niyan, magiging linear equation na lamang ito. That's why, take note of this, na hindi dapat magiging 0 ang value ng ating a. Okay? The value of a is coefficient of the quadratic term or the leading coefficient. So, ibig sabihin nun, yung value ng a natin ay laging katabi yung ating leading coefficient, x squared. And b is the coefficient of the linear term. So, nabanggit kanina, or nasabi ko kanina, na magiging linear equation siya kapag naging 0 yung ating a. Magiging bx plus c. So, linear term itong bx plus c. Or the bx. Next, and c is the constant term. So, yung c corresponds to this. So, example of a quadratic equations. Number 1, 3x squared is equal to 0. Yes, this is an example of a quadratic equation. Bakit? It's just because of the degree. Nasa second degree siya. Next, number 2, 2y squared minus 8 is equal to 0. Still, this is an example of a quadratic equation dahil naman sa exponent na 2. And for number 3, 8 minus 5w plus w squared is equal to 0. Yes, this is another example of a quadratic equation regardless of the arrangement na gagaya doon na ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. Why? It's just because our exponent here, or the greatest exponent that we have is nasa second degree, or 2 na sinasabi. So, let us determine naman why is it na naging non-quadratic equation itong mga to. For number 1, as you can see, wala kang exponent na 2. We only have 3x plus 6 is equal to 0, wherein ang pinakamataas na exponent mo dito is 1. And this is an example of a linear equation. Number 2, x raised to negative 2 plus 7x plus 10 equals 0. Again, this is not a polynomial. It's just because the exponent of the variable is negative. Next, number 3. 3 over m squared plus m equal to 0. Again, this is not a polynomial because the variable is in the denominator. Kasi once you transform this at inilipat mo pataas, magiging negative ang kanyang exponent. If you still remember the law of exponents that was discussed during your grade 8. And for number 4, again, this is not a polynomial because the variable here is under the radical sign. Take note, kapag nag-radical sign na, hindi siya magiging polynomial. And next, number 5. 6v squared minus 5v raised to 1/2 plus 1 is equal to 0. Again, this is not a polynomial because the variable has a fractional exponent. Ito, meron siyang raised to 1/2. So take note, we can say na magiging quadratic equation ito only if we have the second degree or nasa power of 2 ang ating mga exponent. No more, no less. Ayan.